Tonight, we've got Santos in to discuss how to break up without being a dick. And we're sipping our nightcap, The Natural, tonight on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hello, Master Daters. Welcome back for another episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I'm Jen.
And I'm not Jen. I'm going to do that every time.
I love
I'm
it.
Lauren. Yes, that is it.
It is the truth, too.
It is the truth, too.
And guys, today we're going to give it to you straight. We've got the truth because we're breaking down the breakup and teaching you how to break up without being a dick. So if you thought it wasn't possible, we're going to teach you that it actually is. We're going to share some personal breakup stories. Yes, we are bearing it all.
Yeah.
Where we went wrong, possibly.
No, it's where the other people went wrong. We're never wrong.
Oh, right. Exactly.
Or maybe we are, but whatever.
And that is not at all indicative of our relationships.
No.
Why we think men have trouble accessing emotions when dealing with tough situations. Potentially. We're not saying they all do. We're just saying
some,
potentially,
generally
some
speaking,
do.
Yes.
There might be the crazy ones. Who knows? And we've got tips on how to break up with someone the right way with our guest Santos.
Yes, but before we get him in, we need a drink first tonight. Our nightcap is our version of the Moscow Mule, The Natural, appropriately named because that is our guest's Instagram name, or like stage name. That's what he goes by because he like throws down the beats super natural. And we also never turn down liquid courage to help us act natural on a first date, or like if we're trying to like, you know, flow at the club or something. We want to sound like natural. You know what I mean? Like we want to make it like come out like in a rap battle, like we know what we're doing. Just, it helps, okay? Plus, we added our Spa Girls Cucumber Vodka to top off the all-natural ingredients in this fresh AF drink. It's pretty good.
Delightful.
It's like fresh, cucumber-y Moscow Mule.
And this ginger beer from the Trader to the Joe's. Thank God it's not a salad or it'd be recalled.
Oh my God, or it would have been shot. Too soon?
Oh no! Yes, too soon.
There was a shooting at Trader Joe's here, with all due respect.
In
it was
Silver
quite
Lake.
scary.
So scary. They did a really nice social media campaign, though, surrounding it.
Godspeed to the people who lost their lives. It actually was really sad. But Trader Joe's, there's so many of them. Just don't go to that one.
Oh my God, so sad. So scary.
It is.
Anyway, also breaking up is scary, guys.
It is.
But we've got our guest Santos in, who is a rapper, songwriter, and YouTuber, guys. All of those three things. And he's one of the early adopters of being an all-encompassing talent on YouTube, doing all of those things. And he has amassed over 10 million views on that very platform. From self-produced sketch comedy vlogs, videos, vlogs, and music-related content. And at the same time, he had music featured on MTV, VH1, and several commercials, while also sharing the stage with the likes of Big Sean, Too Short, and Chris Brown.
No big deal.
Is Chris Brown allowed on the stage anymore?
Maybe not as of recent, but like he went through some shit and then he was like allowed, and now he's like not really allowed at this current moment. But whatever, he's still.
I'll just never understand how certain people are allowed to still work in their industries after doing bad things, but then there's the Me Too movement and people get fired instantly.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think maybe sometimes it's like breaking up. Like you break up with somebody like once and then twice, and on like the third time you're like, fuck you, this isn't gonna happen anymore. Like it might be like that. Might be taking like America a second to break up with Chris Brown permanently.
I'm broken up with him, so whatever. But guys, in recent years, Santos has also launched an influencer talent agency called SMI. It's like all the rage being an influencer right now, and someone's got to manage these people and make the deals.
Oh my God,
and get
he's
them
like,
all the dollars.
He's like Kris Jenner.
Exactly. He is.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Maybe he could Kris Jenner us.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Momager us.
Yeah, he
could be our
momager
mom.
me. That's fine. I'm
That's
into
perfect.
it.
We need new moms anyway.
I like it.
Speaking of moms, it was your mom's birthday, but we'll get there.
Or soon.
Or yes, that. And he also has a new series called Rap My Life. And in the next episode, it will feature boxer Joseph Diaz Jr., who's fighting for the featherweight title on August 11th.
Oh, so exciting. I like that. I feel like some of his raps, Santos's like rap freestyle raps and shit could be like anthems for that. It's like pumps you up, you know?
I know.
Yeah,
know.
I like it. Okay, guys, he's a social media influencer and delightful rapper that is going to help us influence you on how to wrap up that bad relationship. Welcome to the studio, Santos.
Hey, you just referenced me as a delightful rapper.
Yeah, like the rapper's delight.
I've never been called a delightful rapper.
Well, it's complicated.
You're
first.
welcome.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
I'm
it
into
is
it.
delightful because I feel like your raps are all very. They're like.
Hey,
you've got
careful,
edge.
careful.
No, you have edge, but they're like happy. Like you're.
Okay.
I think you
a happy
have
guy.
a happy.
You're not like killing
yeah,
people on the street.
Yeah, like
I mean,
no.
Maybe with your beats, but not with your guns.
You throw down with your lyrics.
yeah. Speaking of rap, you mentioned rap battle. You guys should totally rap battle on
Oh
this
my
show
God.
one
I
day.
you write
had a
it for
dream
us?
one time. Legit. I had a dream that
Okay.
I was freestyle rapping like multi-syllabic words. I was
Wow.
doing it in the dream.
Okay.
Like I was doing it and I woke up and I couldn't remember the words that I was rhyming, but I was like, but I was doing it though.
That's crazy.
And it was like I was speaking another language in the dream, but I
Yeah,
like didn't.
that's
No,
what
but
that's
I was like, holy shit! I just fucking threw down the best freestyle rap ever, and I did it. Like I made the words rhyme, and then when I woke up, it was like no. And I woke up going, oh my God! I tried to go back to sleep to remember it. It was not.
You know what would be the
great.
coolest thing ever? It's so unrelated, but if you could videotape your dreams, like you know how you could like
Yeah.
leave a voicemail for
Are
somebody
you
and
sure
they come
you
back.
would really
DVR?
want that?
Yeah. DVR your dreams.
I want to DVR my dreams because first of all, I think it's weird and stuff what happens in there sometimes, but also like I want to remember them. I think it's a cool story.
Oh, that'll
It's-
happen soon.
Right.
And then what if you lay down like the best freestyle rap in your dream ever and you're like, done? Like
You
working
release
when
it
you're
on
sleeping
YouTube.
and when
I've
you're
had
awake.
that, what you've had, but it's actual like known rappers in a circle. Like it'll be Snoop Dogg and so, and they're all
Were
having
they all
a
living
cipher.
rappers?
And yeah, but I'm hearing them in their voice rap, but it's obviously my lyrics. Like
you're-
it's coming
they're
from my
rapping your-
conscience.
Yeah.
But it's in their own style. So
No
in my
way.
dream, like I would embody them. And it's such a
freaking
weird thing.
That's like
Crazy.
artsy
Yeah.
AF. Like that's some like memento shit. I feel like.
Whoa.
I don't like you don't even really credit yourself for something like that. That just happens, right, in your brain. And I
Yeah,
wake up and I'm
right.
like, that was cool.
But your brain. did
That's cool that I
But your
experienced that
brain
cool
did
thing
that.
I
No,
did.
but it's like you really did it. Who's your favorite rapper? Is that
Oh,
like the
that's-
worst question ever? Give us like a handful.
Andre 3000 probably.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh. What is it about him that you like?
Oh man, he's just he's sometimes the way he decides to use words is like no one else could ever. You can't consciously decide to do those things. It's almost like he's what's the thing when you get words backwards?
Like
palindrome?
it's dyslexic.
Dyslexic.
I can't even
Nice
remember.
one.
Hello. Can't
It's
even
almost
talk.
like
Like it's a
like he has
palindrome.
dyslexia and then he is a genius at the same time and he
Right.
puts together words in ways that no one else would
But
ever
it like
be
still
able to
makes
do.
sense and you get it.
Perfect sense. It makes more sense than the average person can
He's
make.
very creative. His
He's
lyrics
like
are,
us.
his lyrics are very creative. I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good thing he's like super successful and stuff.
I know, good thing. And maybe one day you'll have a dream you're rapping with him. But until then, we're going to dream.
But until then,
We are
Until
going
then,
to
we're gonna
go
keep
back
doing
in
this.
time to dreams / nightmares of our breakup stories. I'm going to tell like the worst breakup story. Well, since we're talking about like how to do it wrong, right? We're going to like break up the breakdown. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about like how to
Break
do
down the breakup.
break down the breakup. Yes.
Dyslexic.
How did it see? There we go.
See what I started.
Everybody.
see what I started. First of all, what a coincidence that this drink is called the Natural.
Yeah, we named it after you.
Yeah.
If you guys are trying to find Santos online, you can find him at It's the Natural or The Natural, like on YouTube, Instagram.
You know, I should probably address that really quickly. I mean,
I thought it was just because you flowed so naturally, no?
The Natural was my name, and it was. I mean, it's a cool backstory. That was sort of the reason. The first time I ever recorded, I had never recorded before. I'd never written, and I was invited to the studio, and I like perfectly did my first ever take in the studio, and they
Damn.
started calling me that. And this was when I
Oh.
was younger, and I've been that for years. And then of recent, I decided to change my name to my last name, which is Santos, just
I
because.
like that.
And would you like to tell everyone your first name?
My name is Josh.
That's
But
Josh,
do you ever
guys.
let people call you that? Like, what if we call you that?
If you called
Okay.
me Santos.
Josh. Oh,
Oh, Josh. No, absolutely.
He'd be like, "Who's that?"
Let's
Yeah.
just. I'll
New
be
name,
Josh
who dis?
for the rest
Okay.
of the show.
For the rest of the show, he'll be Josh. But
You know what it is, guys? They don't want to say Santos with the accent.
no,
That's
I
what
can
it
say
is.
Santos. I can say it. It just sounds
We will
weird.
say it, and everyone will laugh, and that'll be better.
Here, she's from Miami.
It'll
She
be
can
much
probably do it
better.
better than
Santos.
I can.
She
Although
says it like she's Cuban.
I'm from the Bay Area, so we're around, like grew up around like a
Oh,
whole
you
bunch of
hood, girl?
different
You
people.
hood?
Well, sometimes.
Depends what songs
Depends.
are.
Oh, okay.
So, like we said, we're talking about breaking up, no matter where you're from, you've all experienced it. Miami, the hood, wherever, doesn't matter. Bay Area.
Definitely in Miami.
Definitely in Miami. We've all experienced a breakup. Why we think, again, it's generally speaking, but like it seems as though like dudes can be kind of like dickish when they're breaking up with you, and it's almost like they're shutting down, right? Like it's a little bit more difficult in general for a dude to access their emotions, whether it's like society telling you that or whatever. We know it is the case for most people. And so that lack of emotionality or being able to express it and the shutdown process that can often happen from that gender, particularly speaking, can come off like being a dick. But it's like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like a deeper issue. Girls can do it too. But so we're going to talk about all that. I experienced it. This is my story. I dated this guy from the Bay Area that I knew for like a really long time. Totally. And we reconnected over social media, but I knew him. I like grew up with him.
He slid into the Facebook DMs.
He did.
Wow.
Not
did.
even the Instagram.
Yeah, I
The
think
PMs.
it was. Yeah, right.
You slid
Yes.
in the PMs.
And
private messages.
So I
Very
think
good, yeah.
Thank you.
the distance between he and I like worked in his advantage, because whenever I got close proximity with him or even emotionally, he was like a total dick. He would like went from really, really warm to really, really cold and was good at apologizing. So he would do that, brought me into this vicious cycle. And then I finally broke up with him, but it was sort of like I had no choice. And he was such a jerk.
Executive producer.
Well, that was a little.
They just wanted to remind
They
you.
wanted to remind
Right.
me, don't ever do that again. AfterBuzz TV.
Or AfterBuzz TV brought her relationship.
No, but what I think the problem was is that he shut down and then he blamed it on me. Like when I reacted to hearing some of the shit that he did that was not okay, like dating girls that I knew behind my back and like weird shit, and called him out on it, he was like, now you're showing your true colors. That's what he told me. I was like, really?
Wow.
So that's the kind of breakup that you don't want to do, right? Like where you all of a sudden you turn it around on somebody else because of whatever your issue is. Like, and it was bad because
Right.
then he just acted like a jerk and ended it like this. This is what he told me, Josh. Have a nice life.
For a really long
Like,
time,
hi,
she said that
have
to
a
most
nice
people.
life.
Maybe he just meant it.
No.
It's like what you say when you're like 10 on the playground and someone doesn't give you your kickball back. Like, have a nice life. Kickball. It was like, what is happening? So that is my personal story. And what I took from that is don't turn it around on someone else. Like, even if you're mad, just like take responsibility for you and like walk away.
Yeah.
It does no good to blame, especially when you're the one to blame.
Right. Well, I mean, there's like so many layers in there of like
Oh,
just
there's-
denial
yeah.
of like his issues, and like obviously it's so much easier
There's
to
so
say
much more, but-
you're at fault for figuring me out because
Yeah.
you have eyes and ears and a sixth sense for just shitty shit.
Yeah.
Instead of him saying I did the shitty shit.
Sorry.
Right.
Have a nice life.
You know, he did say that.
Get fuck yourself.
He also basically said that.
That's what I have to say about that.
Well, yes. And I had a really bad breakup. I mean, it was like the worst. Well, no, I had a really
Down
bad
the line, everyone's going to say, I have the worst breakup
Yeah.
story. No,
Yeah.
I have the worst.
Well, for myself, this is actually my second worst because it was like the most recent of the worst.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it being the worst.
Yeah.
Because the other one.
Because you can
is
still
like,
feel it a little bit.
you
a
know,
little
it
bit.
still
Yeah.
makes me mad because I'm like, you didn't have to treat me that way.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
just be a human and stuff.
Yeah.
Although I will say, my guy now, I was telling him what our topic was for today, and I was like, we're gonna tell everyone how to break up with people like nicely and be cute about it and stuff. And he's like, there's no nice breaking up. I
There
go,
is. Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Wait till you see when I do it to you.
Oh,
Wow.
I know, I said that, and he was like, "Oh, what? You want to go swiping again?" And I was like, "I'm not sure this is a selling point, but sure." No,
my God.
So you guys met on Tinder.
no, god damn no. Bumble.
Like, and I mean, it is different.
She's like, not even close.
Okay, so
Anywho,
what went wrong?
Okay, so this is like just the worst. But so anyway, we were set up by mutual friends. When I met him, I was like, "Oh, he's so fun and bouncy. We were totally gonna get along."
Bouncy is a
Bouncy.
good
Bouncy.
description for him.
Totally. It was like Tigger. Like he
But also-
bounces around the club or wherever he is, and
was bouncy in other ways.
because he's fat
In the bedroom?
or that.
Not that I was.
I'm
don't
trying
wanna
to
make
figure
a
out where
comment.
you're
Yeah,
going
just-
right there.
Yeah.
Chubby.
Ah.
We'll get there. So when I met him, I was like, okay, this guy is fun and stuff. I was like actually into somebody else, and we were doing like long distance, like whatever. But so I was like, I'll just like see this guy, and like he drives a motorcycle. He's not like made for like husband material. This guy has no like responsibility in his life. He's a hot trendy mess. Like, no, I'm just gonna have fun with him because he's a good time and we have mutual friends. lo and behold, months went by. I started to like fall in love with this idiot, and he was still around. And I was like, oh
That
no,
idiot.
now I'm in love with this guy, and I'm
Wait,
stuck because I'm in
I
love.
have a question. Hold on. I want to ask this question because it can lead to a breakup, so it's kind of like relevant. Do you think that sometimes when you start to like get into a situation like this where you're like, I'm gonna have fun, and then you end up starting to really like the person, do you think sometimes that comes from that person being like a little bit unavailable or like a little out of reach slightly, or something that you start to pay more attention to like why he doesn't like you or if he likes you, and less about if you actually like him? Do you see what I'm saying?
I think it depends on the person and the situation.
Yeah.
For me, it was just also like I got used to him. We had so
Right.
much fun together. We had mutual friends. His brother was dating like one of my friends. It ended up being like a whole thing. We lived on the same block.
Yeah.
Like it really just
He was
became
convenient.
basically, and then like grew on me. It was like a matter of growing on me. That at that point I was like,
Well, I'm
okay.
already here now.
Well, that was the
This
thing.
is the start of every rom-com.
Oh, it gets
Yeah.
more rom-com-y.
Except for I don't think it gets very rommy.
No, I got more rom-com-y in my thinking because I was like, okay, so where it went wrong in the relationship was he basically was an alcoholic. His priorities were to like go out and party with friends, and he was always hungover,
Sounds like a
and
good time.
I'd be hungover because I'd have to drink with him in order to hang out with him.
You had to.
Had to, because I
Oh
mean,
my
what
God.
else were we
Had
gonna
to.
do
I
together?
met her out one time and she was taking shots of whiskey. You never do that.
No,
You did it this
didn't.
time.
Right. So
Oh, she never does that. I thought
No.
that was like a general guideline for humans.
But then
like,
all
you
of a sudden,
never
oh
do
no,
that.
no,
No.
she never does that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But for a while there, I was a whiskey drinker. I was like an addict,
Okay.
but wasn't. I just had to. So
But you were.
peer pressure. So anyway, it was just like this roller coaster of like me trying to make him a better guy and boyfriend, but him
Oh, no.
not being ready for it, but also not wanting to lose me. So it was like this vicious cycle
Yeah.
of craziness. And he was super volatile and like, I wouldn't say he was violent toward me, but he would like punch his headboard, which is abusive, by the way. It's signs of abuse. He would throw water bottles. Anytime he was mad at me for like calling out the obvious, which was like, you're being a dick, or like,
Yeah.
you're not being a good guy, I'm not happy. He would turn it around on me like your guy did, and he would become like super crazy town. So
Did,
I
did
would
any
cry
of
all
this
the
show
time.
before you guys started dating?
I didn't know him before I started dating him. Like we weren't like friends first.
Oh, okay. I
We,
got
like,
that
just
impression from the
started
story.
seeing each other right off the bat when we were introduced by friends.
Got it.
And then
got
it
got
surfaced like into the relationship. I need
Okay.
more vodka for
Do
this.
it. It's just that. I mean, you lived through it, so
I did.
You deserve your vodka. So I would like cry all the time. I was like, he would tell me I was super high maintenance because like I'd want to go on a date a month or
Yeah,
a
that's
year,
fucking
basically at this
crazy.
point. Anyway, 2 breakups, 2.5.
Needy much?
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
please take me to one dinner.
Jeez.
Help me. I'm sad. So anyway, 2 breakups later, 2.5 years later, finally got out of it, and it was like the worst breakup ever. Because
Okay, now what went wrong in the breakup? Like,
so
what-
he was like, we need a break. And I was like, well, can you use your words and define
So
what
this
that
is after
means?
2 attempts of a breakup, you said?
We broke up one time for 3 months, got back together, and then this was the second breakup. So he was like, we need to go on a break. And so I was like, okay, not thinking like he was out every single night, like meeting new girls, like finding like the next victim, basically. But I like wanted to like get together and chat or like try and fix it. And
Yeah.
like 3 weeks of being on a break, then he was like, we're breaking up. Or he tells me we were broken up already. I'm like, you did not send a memo,
This
a
is the
carrier
Friends
pigeon.
episode. We were on a break.
But to him, we were broken up already retroactively.
Yeah.
But never told me. And I thought we were still on a break and gonna make it work.
So what he did was he used the on a break as an excuse to do all the things that he was probably wanting to do
Yes.
when he was with you.
No,
and
he
just
probably
let
did those
loose.
things then too. Let's be
I would
honest.
venture to say a person isn't completely faithful and loyal, and then the instant you go on a break just becomes not.
Totally, like
That
that's
is-
already
Switches.
happening.
They go
Yeah.
full force dickhead.
Yeah.
So what I learned from this, what went wrong.
What
for
did you
him-
learn, Jen?
Well, what
Yeah.
went right was what I learned, which was how I went wrong. Ultimately, I was wrong by not trusting my gut in the beginning. I knew he wasn't right for me. If it was the stupid motorcycle that was the like tell for me, fine. It was like representative of his entire life choices, which was he was irresponsible, like didn't
irrational.
Yeah, didn't have a plan for a family. Clearly, with this motorcycle.
Meanwhile, Josh is like, I drive a motorcycle.
He's like, guys, it's parked outside. Don't make eye contact. Also not valuing myself enough to like be like, no, I don't deserve this. Peace the fuck out. Yeah. But now I will never do that again. So much so that it's like, I like wear it in my I like branded myself. Like I will not take shit ever again. And if you look at me funny, I hate you. So like I'm almost like too much on the other side now where like I'm like any sign of like acting out or any sign of like not being serious about what we're doing, I'm like, gotta go.
Yeah.
Ta-ta.
I mean, you also have to work through stuff like that, don't you think, Josh? Like you can't make a snap decision if someone does one thing that you don't like. You're not going to be like, bye. Like you have to
Absolutely.
like live through it a little to see like, is that a situational thing or is that like really indicative of their character?
There's definitely some things that are not forgivable.
Like what is that for you?
Yeah.
What are your boundaries?
I think being cheated on is right there. Like it takes a lot to even be willing to go back into a relationship. You got to see a serious change from the other person.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, mistakes are mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes in relationships. As long as you know the other person is willing to better themselves within the relationship, then I think you could keep working on it. But yeah. First of all, you sound so much like Zooey Deschanel. It's ridiculous.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
No one's ever told you that before?
I don't know if they told me.
He listens to voices,
Oh,
so
right.
he
You
would
have a
know.
good ear,
Yeah.
I guess.
You sound exactly like her.
That's cool and stuff, but I'm not on New Girl.
Oh.
Call me.
Oh my God, I don't think I've ever heard anyone. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Next
I've
time you
gotten-
watch New Girl, you're not going to be able to not think of her.
I would rather think of me as like her in Elf.
Oh my God, I love her and Elf.
I feel like her voice
I love
is...
New Girl, by the way.
Yeah,
She's
it's
great.
real good.
Yeah.
It's real
And
good.
also, she has a great voice. What if she like laid down some like? What if she was like the Dido to your Eminem? She was like sang some cute little like melody in the back of your like.
Are we talking about Zoe or
Zoe?
Jen?
Not Jen. Jen is tone deaf. Don't ask
No,
her
I
to
can
do that.
sing.
No,
Can
she
you?
can't. No.
I have a song recorded on the internet.
Prove it. Do
No.
you?
Oh.
Jen,
Swipe up, guys.
you are
Swipe
fucking
up right
joking
now.
me. You do not.
How do you not know this?
Oh wait, did I?
I'm sure. We talk about it probably once a year.
Jen,
How long have you guys known each other?
Long time.
like long time. Like we love each other.
We're going to Google it on the
Wait,
next break.
Hold on, can you like lay it down and like rap over it? Because what you do is you
I don't know
take
that you
like
want that.
yeah, you take
Oh
like
God, someone is looking for
other
it.
people, like other I don't know if I'm using the right
Remixes?
terms.
Do
Like yeah, you
remixes?
remixes.
Yeah.
So it's like Justin Timberlake's like "Cry Me a River," but
Yeah.
like your and it's
That's what I
like,
do for fun, like on
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You would
yeah.
need to remix mine a lot, like so that it's not
like
noticeable.
remove you from it.
Like just
Don't
turn
use
the whole, just
starters.
don't
Turn it
use
off.
any. Yeah, turn it off and then
Yeah.
put your own thing. Lay your own.
Right.
thing.
Okay. Like remix your song as a whole other song.
Yeah.
Right.
Minus you.
Remix it out of the world.
Okay. Got
Oh
it.
my God, that would be he was, and also when our cute little theme song came on, our cute little jingle, Josh was like
was
dancing around.
boogieing.
I was like, I feel like he wants to like,
I was
Do you want to do the
bugging.
remix for our song?
yeah.
Oh, we
you
might have
can?
to do that.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
into
Oh
it.
my God, I would die.
Couple more Moscow Mules.
Yeah,
and
hell
it
yeah.
Might, it might
Hey,
get done
if
today.
you finish that, just take your headphones off and come over here and we'll pour you another one and then you can reposition
so
yourself.
far.
Yeah, we're the bartender. I know it's far.
It's so far. Okay, so
We're not even in the same room right now, guys.
I know.
Yeah,
we're
basically.
not in
We're
the same
Skyping.
country.
I'm in Spain right now.
What
Oh,
is?
brother.
Give us like a breakup situation, story, something where you feel like something went majorly wrong. Could be you, could be the other person, and then like what you feel like you were like that went wrong. Do not ever do that. Like rule of thumb, like you're like
Yeah.
cheating on, not okay. Like
Yeah.
breakup wise, like what is not okay? Like what is the wrong thing to do?
I've only had 2 relationships before, and one of them was I guess you could say a good breakup.
Okay.
You know, it was amicable, and the other
Wait, how did the amicable
Yeah,
one
no,
work
so
out?
that's a good thing. Like that could
Yeah.
be good advice about how to like do it right. What do you think was good about that?
we were very communicative our whole relationship. So when I realized we had a different vision of our futures, the conversation had to be had, and it kind of had been had before, and we just never were able to kind of close the book on it. And then at one point, it was like we're kind of fooling ourselves and attempting to keep trying. So it's got to end now, and like there was kind of like a lead up to it. So like she kind of knew it was coming.
And that also kind of plays in your favor or the relationship's favor for a good breakup because you are both on the same page.
Yeah.
So that helps even if like, you know, and that you communicated well. Being on the same page and wanting the same thing obviously makes a breakup good, but communicating how you're really feeling is like the
Yeah.
way to go. And now a bad one would have
Okay.
been
Oh, this one's a good one.
okay.
It's a good bad one. So I'm not gonna get super detailed. 'Cause I don't know
Whatever
who's
you- yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
But I was told by someone that she was cheating on me. I
Oh,
was
damn.
told by the significant other of the other party.
Oh, lovely.
damn.
And
wow.
so I didn't
Drama.
have I guess I didn't have proof.
Yeah.
Oh, no one ever does really have proof. You know
But
what I
at
mean?
that point, it's their word against yours, and why would they be
Exactly.
saying that?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
they're- no.
I addressed it with her. She denied it, and
Wait, at that point, just admit it.
Well,
I took her word for it.
okay.
And we proceeded,
Okay.
and the relationship went on another half a year, and then she ended it one day. And then a few months later, I'm opening up for Big Sean. And it was one of the biggest shows. It was a packed house. I had a killer set. And after the show, I see her in the crowd
Ugh.
with the guy who she was accused of cheating on me with.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
And then she comes to the
and
show.
then
Did she know you were opening? I mean, I think it's probably
She did.
on press materials.
She
and
did.
stuff.
Wow.
She did.
That's fucking ballsy.
Yeah.
AF.
And so she shows up with the guy who she was accused of cheating on, and then
Hot damn.
people saw her making out with him in the crowd, including my parents, who
No.
were watching me perform for the first time.
That shows a lack of major class.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure we can go back in time and say she was for sure cheating on you.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
So
But
what?
why do people that cheat stay with someone? Like, just break up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No,
That seems like
you
an
mean-
obvious
you mean
statement,
like,
but yet.
You mean like if you're cheating,
yeah.
or well, I guess it's either way. But like that, I think of someone who's doing it behind closed doors doesn't want to get caught. Like otherwise, yeah, right. Like
Well, I
otherwise,
feel
you would
like it's
break
'cause
up.
You don't feel like you're certain yet you want out, but you do want to see what happens with someone.
Yeah.
It's like really just shitty because you're like,
Yeah.
I want to have both things just
Yeah.
to make sure I pick the right one.
There's really only two scenarios in that situation. There's a person who is wants to mess around but still wants a relationship. So even though they know it's wrong, they're gonna continue, and they're gonna try to hide it as best they can. Or I mean, so many faults are hard to accept in general. So if you cheat on someone, a lot of people are gonna deny that that's who they are rather than it was just something they did.
Yeah.
And they're going to
it's a big
chalk it up
character
as
flaw.
something they just did.
Right.
And they're going to try to not do it anymore, like anyone who makes any fault in life.
Sure.
And then they do it again.
They do it again. Also because they're not at that point, like you
Jen said.
yeah, like you're not being honest with who you are or what you really want. So like when you're dating, like whoever you're dating, pay less attention to what like they're doing or if they like you. Obviously, don't ignore those signs and pay more attention to how you feel about them and what you like and what you want. And then if you start to get to a point where you don't want those things or you feel like they don't want those things, the good breakup you had, you were very communicative. Start talking about it, or don't like go. I mean, we both sort of all just like said that happened to us. Someone went behind closed doors and was acting totally different because they just couldn't admit like their fault. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's fucking perfect. Just do. And if you're accusing, this is my thing. If you're accusing somebody, like take that moment as a favor. So that girl should have been like, listen, he just fucking laid it out there for me. Just say yes. Instead of having to come to you and be like, I have to talk to you. This thing happened. So much easier. You fed her the line. You were like, just say it. All she had to do was say, yeah, fuck. No, and then she shows up to your show like you're not going to see her.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
worst.
Don't do that. So
The
guys,
rest of the night damn sure overshadowed that
Oh, hell
moment,
yeah.
though.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
and
you had
that's
a
good
great
for you
show.
because you didn't let that get in your
Did you
head.
even see her in there, or you heard after the fact?
I saw her.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes for a great story though. Like I'm
Oh,
kind
oh
of
my
glad it
God,
happened in
yeah.
hindsight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also 'cause,
I
like,
also
she's
get the
the dick,
humble
not you.
brag. I was opening for Big Sean, right?
Right.
And it was a packed house, right? And then
Yeah.
I killed the show, right?
Yeah.
And then
Right.
my ex-girlfriend was there. So I got to say all that.
And you were
I
right
have to say
about
all
her.
that.
And you were right about her.
Oh my God,
And it was
so
your moment of
all
like,
I was wrong about her.
You were, but
First
you were
of all-
right about her cheating.
Because I took her
Yes.
word for it.
right,
Right.
right.
Well-
But you knew deep down inside that
And then
was.
she broke up with me.
She probably couldn't handle the lying anymore, or who the hell knows?
Her
Also
own
broke
line.
up with me the night before Thanksgiving.
That's another thing you don't do.
No, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
We're gonna tell
Yeah,
you
I
what
have
not
family
to do. yo.
dinner, like,
That's-
heartbroken.
I mean,
However, you were at least with family,
Yeah.
so you were like
Just
not
had a lot of
alone in your room in
stuffing,
the dark.
got the itis.
Right.
slept
Oh,
it
the
off.
itis.
Exactly.
Her actions were very selfish. So, like, that's one thing that we'll say, like, do not do. Try very hard in these moments. It's a hard moment. Like, just don't be selfish and dicky and bitchy. Like, you know the difference between
And
choosing
dicky.
words that are like
Thing.
rude or insensitive in this kind of a moment. Like, that's something, that's what went wrong there. Like,
However, here's the thing. Okay, so like obviously breakups are hard. That's why no one's like, oh, I love breaking up with people. It's not like, unicorns
That's
and
why
fairies.
they take forever to happen, by the way, because people are like waiting for the moment where it feels right to break up with someone.
it's
It
never.
never feels right.
No.
Just do it.
You know what? I have a friend, one of my best friends, who the second he knows it's over, ends it.
Wow.
And he always gets like accused of being cold or being a dick. And I'm like, exactly the opposite.
Well, what does he
He's not
say?
mean to her.
Okay.
He's not mean to the person, but he's like, he just says, it's, I'm not happy anymore. It's not working.
He's
I'm
in
sorry.
touch with how he feels.
And then that's it. It's over. But he will always get told like he's cold or what a dick. He just dumped her. And I'm like, you can't like.
No, he did her a favor. I mean, listen, I'm sure if you do it when you pull the rug out from under somebody.
Yes, you did
That
it
one.
right. She never gets sayings right.
No.
But that one she got.
Thank you. So I get to drink now.
Yeah,
Cool.
That was good. Pull the rug out from under you. The wool is over the eyes.
Right, that one. So when you do that to somebody, I think that's usually when someone is like seen as a dick because it's like you didn't give them any
blindsided
warning.
them.
You didn't try and make it work. You never said like, let's figure this out, or like gave them a heads up that like they were doing something that pissed you off.
Yeah.
So like that to me is like a dick move.
It
Like,
could be a dick move if that person is willing to see. Sometimes, like, that you could ask the other person, like, I did communicate that I wasn't okay, but sometimes other people don't hear what they don't want to hear. So you have to hear both sides of the story. But yes, a true, like, rug out from under the feet is not, that's not nice.
Right. Like sometimes people will ghost and do the whole thing. But breakups are so hard because, like, I mean, you don't want to have to say hard things, like awful things to somebody or like confront somebody that you may or may not care about. Like hurting somebody sucks. And then you also don't know how the other person's going to react and you don't want to have to deal with that too. So some people just like either stay in the relationship
The
until
text breakup.
oh my God, or the text breakup, or just let it fizzle out. And it's like, what?
Text breakup is only okay if you've been on like 3 dates.
Right.
Anything more than that, no.
Right.
It's not even, you're not even together if you've only been on 3 dates.
No, but if you've gone on, let's say if you've gone on more than 3 dates, if you're like in the 3 to 4, you're going in the 4
You can
date
then
range.
say, like, I'm dating this person because you've been on like more than 3 days,
Right.
you say.
It's active.
Yeah.
So you should send a text and like not ghost them. You should be like, listen, I think you're great. Gotta
Yeah.
go.
That's
mean-
a very pertinent conversation right now, ghosting. Like,
Yeah.
that's a conversation
What
that should
about
be had more.
Caspering? Do you know about that?
No.
Being a
Because
friendly
it's
ghost.
a friendly ghost. It's ghosting and then seeing that person in yoga and being like, hey, how are you? We should get you a drink sometime.
Right.
You just got fucking Caspered because now he's being friendly.
But he
I
doesn't have
love
any
that.
intention of seeing
That was
you.
also my favorite cartoon as a kid.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Casper.
Oh, mine was the one with Christina Ricci and Devin Saw.
The movie. Yeah, the movie was
I was
cute.
gonna marry Casper, the boy, not the ghost.
Oh,
Loved.
yeah. Yeah.
Loved. And I was like, I kind of look like her.
What's the cutoff point of when it becomes ghosting and when it's just like, I mean, does someone you've been on 1 date or 2 deserve like a notice?
One, I mean, I guess you could technically call it ghosting, but it's kind of like, oh, it was 1 date. I don't care. I think any multiple is ghosting.
Here's the thing too. If you've been in like serious communication with somebody, like, you know how sometimes like you'll meet someone and go out with them, or like you'll have a lot of banter over text.
Sure.
So you sort of
Yeah.
become part of that person's day to day.
Yeah.
And then like you go on your date finally, or you intend to go on a second date, but then you decide you don't want to. Like, I feel like if you've involved yourself in someone's
Yes.
day-to-day life more than just like a, hey, how are you? Or like,
You're saying you owe it to them
Yeah.
to let them know
Yes.
that it didn't work out.
Well, yes.
yeah, you owe them something.
something. And
What
you
is
don't-
that then?
Just
What
something
is
like,
that?
listen, I don't think this is going to work out, or I feel like we're just friends, even if it's a super cliche thing to say, because if you're being so communicative with the person and then all of a sudden you're not, that's a very drastic change
That's
in temperature,
ghosting.
and that would be ghosting. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
If it's a
Yeah.
drastic change in temperature, that is ghosting. If you've texted twice to figure out where you're going on a date and then went on a date and then like said I had a nice time and he said me too and then you never heard from him again, I wouldn't
Fair.
call that ghosting.
No, fair game.
That's
But
just
if,
like,
if someone has
yeah.
to send an Amber Alert out for you, then that is just ghosting.
Oh my God. That would not happen. But
What,
no,
what if you're hesitant to send that because you don't even know how they feel yet?
people do that a lot. I think it's like, listen, if you're going out on a date and like it wasn't like I'm just your friend, and you know that that's not the case, then everyone needs to let go of that. Like, I feel like we could maybe just be friends. Well, really, like, is that really like what you are all doing here? How many times has that really happened? Like, you don't ask. And if you're a dude and you're asking a girlfriend to hang out, you are a dude. And you're asking a girlfriend to hang out.
Thank you.
You will, and you don't want to have sex with this chick, you will no way, shape, or form let that girl think that that's what you want. Right. If you did not like this girl and were not attracted to her, but you wanted to like go to the movies, you want to be like, hey, I want to take you to the movies. You want to grab a drink and I'm going to take you to the movies? You want to fucking say it like that? You'd be like, hey, I want to hang out with you. You're my friend. Let's go to the movies. Like a dude.
Pay for your own ticket.
Yeah. Like you would make
I'll
it
Venmo
clear.
you.
So like if
Venmo is the true sign.
Yeah.
If you get a Venmo request, you're friends.
Shit, my boyfriend just Venmoed me the other day.
But you live together.
Kidding.
I think
He's sending hints.
Yeah, unless he's trying to ghost you by Venmo.
I think that's a valid question, Josh, but I feel like you at this age too, like we're a little older, we're not like 12 teen. Like like don't let's just assume you've gone on a date and you're texting like this is, even if you haven't had
Let's
sex.
say you're texting a lot before the first date, which happens. Like okay, so you go on the date, there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
How do you know that you're the one that owes it to them and not vice versa?
Well, you don't necessarily.
I don't think, I don't know. I think if somebody after the fact is showing a sign that they want to go out again, then the other person should take like the onus on them to like say,
absolutely.
Listen,
We
I don't
finally
think we should
came
go out on
to
another date.
a consensus right now, I think.
Yeah, like
if one of them shows signs that they want to keep going, and then you don't answer, then it's ghosting.
Totally.
I would say you go on a date and there's no chemistry. You don't necessarily need to be proactive about saying that we're not going to go on a second date.
It's only if somebody else reaches out to like set another date or is like prying.
Because you're like, you know what? I don't think this is working out, and they're like, obviously.
Like,
yeah.
And then you're like,
friends.
ouch.
Yeah.
Trying to be nice.
Oh my God, the worst
Jen
is
and Lauren
assuming.
suggested I not ghost you.
We talk about this too, where there's a difference between like, but ask yourself what you really want, ladies. Like at a certain point, do you really want someone to be like, I'm just not attracted to you? Like sometimes the ghosting is like better. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you really want the answer, like, and some girls will be like, oh, he just gave me some stupid excuse. Yeah, but do you really want him to be like, I don't want to fuck you? No, like, I don't really want to hear that. Like,
I get more friend vibes out of this because I want it not to be about appearance or about chemistry. It's just more like, I feel like we're just like not romantically like connected. So
and
I go
this
that
is
route.
all part of how to break up in the right way. Like that, you wouldn't just say that. Ghosting is more extreme. I think it's okay to do sometimes. But yes, if you don't think you should do that, pay attention to your gut. If you feel like the person is owed an explanation, then you're probably right. Yeah. And give the explanation honestly, but don't be a jerk about it. Like you don't have to
tell them, Lauren.
Yeah, I just feel like you don't have to be like, I'm really just not attracted to you. Like
no one should say that. That's rude. But
whatever.
We'll get to how to not be rude and how to be cute in a bit. Well, we don't have that much time left. But what would you do to get over a breakup? Like, what did you do?
What did I do?
Yeah. Go do a really awesome show.
You just go about your business.
Like stay in your own lane. Pay attention to you.
Yeah. But don't overcompensate.
Like
first
what
of all,
way?
if you have to say I'm going to focus on me, you should have already been focusing on you.
Yeah.
Totally.
In a relationship, you're still an individual, and you got to be two individuals, and you got to focus on you, and that should be interfering with your career or your school or whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
So if you got to now say I'm gonna focus on me, you were already neglecting you before, so that might have been an issue.
Did you feel like when you were in the relationship with the girl and it was like really rocky and then she like allegedly cheated on you or not, did you feel like that kind of was hard to focus on like because you're your own boss, like you're doing your own like YouTube videos and rapping, writing your own stuff and like doing whatever you can, like you're a very busy guy that's like constantly putting out content.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it like were you able to stay in that?
Well, that one was when I was younger.
Okay.
So I was still working like a 9 to 5, but I was still creating. But the beautiful thing about being an artist is that emotions actually fuel.
Okay.
So have you
what you're
ever
doing.
rapped about a breakup?
I tend to give little like ounces of my reality in songs, and then I also generalize the thoughts so they're more relatable.
Yeah.
So I've never like full on broke down a specific story that would involve other people in my songs.
No,
and
you just did it
don't,
here, though,
you
so.
just don't want you don't want to do that.
It's complicated.
It is
Exactly.
complicated. So you don't want to do that because you don't want to give that person too much credit, or you're just trying to be relatable, or both.
I like to find a middle ground between being introspective and being relatable.
Yeah.
When I write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes things interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of
I don't think I
animals,
tried
malls.
to do that. I think that's sort of instinctive for me as a writer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
Yeah.
you found success.
Uh-huh.
I know. I know.
Tell me more, Jen.
Well, how about you tell us
me more.
about Rap My Life?
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Okay, yeah, I started this new series. So I have a different guest each episode. And the guests will give me 8 facts about themselves and a catchphrase or a motto that they either live by
YOLO.
or if they're an entertainer, it'll be their own catchphrase.
What about ours? Love you long time.
Love you a long time.
That is your guys' catchphrase? Beautiful. That would work.
Yeah.
And
Very
so then
Asian.
I have 15 minutes, and it's all on camera. I have 15 minutes to write and record a full song about their life. And they get to hear it being recorded live.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm doing the next one with Joseph Diaz, who's a well-known fighter, signed a Golden Boy, which is Oscar de la Hoya's camp, and super famous, super famous boxer. And it's gonna be the first fight that's ever streamed on Facebook Watch. So
Oh, no
before
way.
that launches, hopefully we'll have the video out. So in like the next week, I would say it's gonna come out.
Okay.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Well, everyone listening and watching should definitely be on the lookout for
Yeah,
that.
in the next week for sure.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
that.
So we've been talking a little bit about like men and women having different perspectives. We in this room seem to be in agreement as far as like how not to be a fucking
Dick.
Yeah.
Be honest.
You guys should have a counter on the screen that says
well, it's a
just
drinking
dick
game.
counter.
So
Yeah,
if you're
we've-
watching this, you should just be drinking every time.
Every time we say
But-
dick.
So there's obviously the saying men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we think that there's probably a difference, and there's studies out there that men handle emotions differently than women do, which is why they probably have different breakup styles than women do.
Yeah.
But there is a wonderful quote that will give some insight into the difference between men and women.
Because it kind of goes with this thing. It says women are emotional in order to feel the divine energy at the highest levels and be supreme healers and lovers and mothers. Not to drive men insane. Her deep spiritual connection to feelings is to inspire a man to his spiritual heights as well. She is not a nag. She is an oracle.
You hear that? We're oracles.
And that was a quote by Raj Khan. I think I'm saying her name right. Raja Khan. Or he, actually. I don't even know. I think that's a
some
woman.
smart person.
But
This person.
I do feel like,
Whoever it is speaking so highly of women. It's
well, yes and no. I do feel like, though, it does kind of go with what we were saying in its general about like men not either expressing or accessing their emotionality as easier or ready. It's not as readily available for whatever reasons. It could be society, it could be your culture, it could be whatever. It just doesn't seem to be the case, I think, in general. And I think this sort of says that, hey, listen, because it's kind of like, women are nags, women are so, you talk too much. Like,
or
guys
we're
have this
crazy. You made us crazy.
and it's like, this is just a little bit to stick up for us and say, like, we have accessibility to these emotions because, like, we have to be mothers and we have to do stuff like that. And maybe
There's different things that are flowing through us,
maybe you
guys.
could see it as a way to, like, help you access the
Yeah.
emotion instead of it being crazy. Now, I do get we think differently. We think however many more thoughts a day than you guys do or whatever. But it was just to go back to say, because some people will listen and be like, well, you guys always say that about dudes are stupid or whatever. And we're not men.
yeah. You guys always
bashers.
say dudes are stupid.
Well, they kind of are stupid, but
Okay, they're simple. Is that better?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Exactly.
complicated.
Wait, so now do you have any issues like sharing your feelings? Because you obviously write
Yeah, you
songs
use
and
it
have
to
to
write-
Yeah.
So you must be good at it, maybe?
I'm good at communicating what I think with other people between us. I'm very bad at expressing my own personal feelings.
why
is
do you
that?
think that is?
I just was I was a recluse growing up. I was like very introverted up until I became an adult. I've broken out of that. And so I didn't talk much. I didn't express my feelings. As a child, I would like have little temper tantrums, and I grew out of that. But it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I learned how to like start to verbalize my feelings and how to express them. And I still have trouble with it to a degree, but I'm breaking 20 years of habits.
And
You know what
nobody
I'm saying?
teaches you how to do that. It's like they teach you how to do like the Pythagorean theorem in school, which nobody ever fucking uses, by the way.
No.
Instead of teaching you how to like do your taxes and balance your checkbook and
Mm.
talk about how you feel. Like these are things that you need to do every day.
Yeah.
We should be talking about
But
these things.
would an elementary, junior high, high school teacher even have the functionality or the ability to teach someone how to deal with
If you-
being an
if they're
introvert or
taught-
extrovert?
Sure.
If you hired,
That's deep stuff. I
It
mean,
is
that's
totally, but if you hired somebody who was an expert in that field, or they got studied and were a doc, I mean,
yeah.
when
I
you
think
go
the
to-
problem they would be a psychology major
That's what I'm
at
saying.
a university. So
But
Totally.
also, I am not a biology major because I took a biology class in school.
True,
Like these
true.
people could take a class to teach how to communicate. They
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
I took a communications class. I took a stupid computer class. I took zoofuckinology. Like you don't see me dissecting creatures and doing
Yeah.
whatever zoology people do.
I think ideally that would be nice, but I think biology is primarily objective and psychology.
Okay, you know what I
is
remember from
difficult.
biology?
Shit.
Amoeba.
yeah,
the
chlorophyll.
record store.
beaker. No,
Yeah.
I
Would
hear
only
what-
LA people get that
Yeah.
I
reference?
hear what you're saying, but I do think that and for men and women, this can go both ways. I know we're sort of like
Yeah.
singling out dudes, but like we aren't taught to talk about how we feel. It
Yeah.
is more okay though, society wise. Back me up on this. For like dudes, like don't even people will say stop being a pussy. Like
Yeah, get over
stop
it.
crying, get over it, toughen up.
Man
like that's
up.
what you're
Yeah.
told as a boy. So is it a really big fucking shock that when it comes to break up that you're not able to like cry and get emotional and talk about how
Mm-hmm.
you feel? You're supposed to man up, stop being a pussy, which is way tougher than a sack of ball sack.
Also,
by
it's
the
the
way.
thing everybody wants. So why you don't want to be that, I don't
Yeah.
really get it.
You are what you eat.
Exactly. But also, if guys are taught that, how fucked up is it that girls are taught you should be emotional, you should be a delicate little flower, you need all the help in the world, you need a Prince Charming, but then when you're in a relationship, you have to be cool girl and have no feelings.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And
What?
you're crazy if you do. So anyway, that quote was sort of to explain that. But I do think that, yeah, like for men, your reason is your reason. But like generally speaking, it can be hard to access those emotions. There's like, you feel embarrassed about it, some people will say, like, or it's you have a hard time discussing some like difficulties that might be like very minute and on a larger scale. Like it's hard to then communicate those in that way or translate them in that way. There's a whole bunch of like factors that come into why men might tend to have this emotional difficulty.
Yeah.
But
Because they have issues.
no, I mean, I just think
kidding,
that
guys. You're all
I
great.
think it's mostly societal, in my
perfect.
opinion. But I think that you have to keep that in mind when breaking up, like, or going through a hard time. Communicating is like key, and you obviously use that as your art. And even you will say that you have a little bit of difficulty doing it sometimes. But
I
you're
would
probably better.
find that a lot of creatives are that because they lack that elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Those that can't
Oh.
teach.
or do. Well,
Do.
I don't know what it is.
You
But
can't take a
he's-
sip. You didn't get the phrase right.
I don't
Yeah,
think I did.
no,
but
no
But you
more
can take
than
one
you.
just because.
I like that rule.
Hey.
I mean,
Hey.
guys, also to make a breakup cute, we're gonna go through a couple of things
Yeah.
really quick. Like,
One,
Yeah.
blame it on Mercury in retrograde because it's fucking happening now. That means your technology doesn't work. That means you should not start relationships. That means you don't start a new job. You don't sign a contract. You don't break up with anybody unless, well, you really want to, but you can blame it on Mercury in retrograde because the planet is going the other way and it's all kinds of shit happening.
things
right
are spinning out off kilter. But also, we talked about this.
But also, don't act like a dick because of that.
Right.
True. Don't use that as an excuse. Also, make sure you tailor how you break up with like in relation to the relationship. Like if it's a really short relationship, like we talked about, like ghosting or maybe just sending a text, cool. Like if you've been in a long-term relationship, like make sure you have a deep-hearted conversation where you're as honest as you can be and
Face to
stay in your
face.
own lane. Like don't start blaming or like denying things. Just talk about you.
Also, but like going back to that, you don't do it on the phone. You don't do it by email.
Yeah.
Like you really just
Email.
you treat the person like a human being.
Dear
that you,
ex.
Right. Dear
Don't
future
show,
ex.
don't show up
future
to
ex.
your ex-boyfriend's fucking show with Big Sean with the new boyfriend that you cheated on with to like nail in
Oh
the coffin.
man, I
Right.
hope this does not get back. to
Yeah,
someone.
well,
Well, screw her
too
anyway.
bad
Right
you
around
shouldn't have
the-
done it.
Like Big Sean
Dear
says.
future ex is a great song title.
I feel like that's a Meghan Trainor song. Dear future husband. That's
Yeah,
the
Dear
song.
Future
Yes.
Husband.
But also, like Big Sean says, bounce back or something.
Or don't be bouncy.
Bouncy.
Don't do
Damn. Callback times 3 on that
See?
one.
See?
You're welcome.
That's what we do. Okay, so timing is everything.
This
it never
is-
feels right. Don't fucking do it the day before Thanksgiving
Yeah.
or holidays or the person's birthday
Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
anniversary because that's rude as shit.
Now, it's not you, it's me. You can say it, but don't say that, though. Like, that's when what we're saying, like, focus on you. Focus on what makes sense for you to step away from the relationship and what you can be
Like
responsible
that girl
for.
should have said to you, I cheated on you. I am disgraced. I'm a horrible person. I'm going to set you free.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
So
Mic
focus
drop.
on you and say, it's not you, it's me, but don't say that because that's so.
I like the confirmation with the head nod.
Yeah, I
I
might
got
dropped
you,
with
boo.
my
Yeah.
head. Gotcha.
This is the don't be a dick thing.
Yeah. Be
It's
honest.
not you, it's me.
But don't
Exactly.
say that.
Well,
though.
also basically just take responsibility. If you want out, you want out. Don't blame it on somebody else's quirks. You
And
just
you're-
obviously don't like their
And
quirks.
Josh, you're a wordsmith. You can find something better than it's not you, it's me.
Boring.
Yeah.
That's basic. Is that the right usage of
Yeah,
basic?
don't be a
Cool.
basic. Be extra.
If you realistically meant that, it's not you, it's me. They've known that for a while.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with these issues. You've probably she's probably noticed it or vice versa.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it doesn't need to be worded that way, but it's just gonna be like I need to fix myself. I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. Or like,
Oh, see, that's
obviously,
so much better. That is how you wrap up a breakup.
Yeah.
You say that. You wrap up a relationship by saying, like, I need to fix myself. You're taking responsibility for yourself. And it is true. Like, you just have to be able to admit it.
or you're not compatible, and that's cool too. You tried. You have not succeeded. Farewell, but
Do
you
not
do.
try again.
Find love
Yeah.
somewhere in a lonely place. Okay, so be honest, but like not really, but like kind of.
But sort
do
of.
it with like a smile. Like say something about the person that is not awful to them. Like you are ugly. You got fat.
You sound like Zoe.
You're
Right.
bouncy.
You're too bouncy in the tummy area. So instead, think about like what you would want to hear if someone is breaking up with you. Like obviously, you don't want to hear their worst inner thoughts about you. You'd
It's
rather
a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Think if you were the
Golden
receiving
rule.
party,
Yeah. Exactly.
what would you want to hear?
Yes. And how that would be beneficial for you to, like, learn and grow from and all that.
Exactly, because if you watched The Bachelorette Men Tell All this week, Jason asked Becca what he could have done better or differently to continue having her affections, and she said, "Nothing. You were great. My heart just felt closer to other people."
Oh,
He asked, she answered.
that's
It was all
great.
lovely and stuff. She wasn't like, "Oh, you smell."
And that's like the last thing. It's like ask for their perspective, right? Like that's a good thing to do because sometimes, like we talked about in the beginning of this episode, you get so caught up in like trying to hold on to somebody or trying to tell if they like you. And you're not even thinking about like, actually, how do I feel? So if you're in this situation, you're trying to be cute when you break up, ask that question like, well, actually, I feel this way. How do you feel about that? That could bring to light someone's feelings. They could have that one of those moments where like, actually, I think we're kind of right. Like your first breakup where you're like, we both sort of felt that same way. You know, eventually we knew that it wasn't right for both of us. And asking that question in the moment could actually help the other person realize they are on the same
You're
page.
giving them closure,
Yeah.
and like they kind of feel like it's their idea too, which is really cool. So.
But it also could be true.
Oh, totally.
And
100%.
that is
But you're
how-
empowering
yeah.
them to also
Yes.
want to break up and
Right.
giving them the option to like not feel like the wool was pulled over their eyeballs.
Oh, she did it. But no, you messed up with
It's really
eyeballs.
hard.
It's just
I
eyes.
heard.
yeah. There could be that element of like, look, we both know yada 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 yada.
we both know.
Yeah.
So we should both be honest.
Also a good
and
title for a song. We both
Yada
know.
yada yada. Oh.
Oh, or
And
yada yada yada.
Yada yada. That's coming
yada.
next. 'cause
That's a
people,
trap song right
People
there.
don't use
Yes.
words anymore.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's
Yada
great.
yada yada.
I
Okay.
like it.
So, well, that's our wrap on.
That is our
breaking
wrap
up.
on breaking up. And if people want to watch you actually rapping, besides your new TV show,
So
your
many
new-
puns
I know.
You
today.
know?
Where
We're
can they
smart and
watch? Where can everyone find you?
They can find me on YouTube.
Like my song that's
slash
playing right now.
Yeah.
The
oh my
Natural.
God. This is not.
Yeah.
This is your song.
Thanks, Jeff.
Wait, is this your voice? Like you're gonna start singing?
Yeah.
God,
I mean, this currently isn't my voice. It's
Let's halt
like
everything and
auto-tuned,
listen.
Wait, did you?
but- Oh, I'm gonna turn into a
Stop
stone.
it. Wait.
When was this?
A long time ago. Clearly.
Last year.
Jen.
Before I became the deepest voice ever.
That was
You don't
actually
have a
pretty
bad
good.
voice at
Are
all.
you auto-tuned?
No. I mean, I think there's a part he does something to it.
Yeah.
The producer guy.
All vocals have mixing and engineering.
Well, this started with, first of all, the song's about 9/11.
I mean, I can see. Yeah, this is horrible. Look at these pictures. Jen,
Oh, wait, there's
edited this
images?
together. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. You can all go to YouTube.
Jen.
You know what's funny?
I've never fucking
make
heard
this
this
song
in my
go
life.
viral.
I can.
I didn't
Right in
know.
time for 9/11, guys.
I didn't know it was about 9/11, but when I was hearing it, first of all, I thought you sound good, and secondly, I was like, this sounds like it's from like a commercial where it's like Save the Dogs, like
Yeah.
sort of that
Yes.
depressing
Yeah.
Sarah
Me and Sarah
McLachlan thing
McLachlan.
going
Yeah,
on.
we got
and
it.
then certainly it is about
wonder Jeff
a
wondered
tragedy.
You felt it,
Yeah.
Jen. I have never heard this in my life.
Well, now you have.
Oh my god.
I'm mad that I can't see the screen right now.
Well-
I'm gonna play this when I get home.
Yeah, I am too because oh
Let's
my
make
gosh.
it go viral just in time for 9/11. By
Ooh,
the
I
way,
don't know if we can do that.
I have a letter from Jeb Bush when he was the governor of Florida that
Do
like
you?
congratulated me on my song.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, you can because it's here.
This is great. Okay, so
Listen, if
people-
Jeb Bush likes your song,
Then
You've
you
made
know.
it.
Poor guy should have been Prez.
yeah.
Okay, so when people aren't listening to Josh rap in this Rap My
Jennifer
Life,
Golden.
You can listen to me.
then you can listen to Jen or you can follow you on
Yeah. YouTube.com/thenatural.
Yes.
Instagram, it's the natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And on that same YouTube page, is that where Rap My Life is?
That's actually on my second channel, which is the Natural Rants.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Why did you opt to go two routes?
Ooh, that's a long story in itself.
Okay.
The first channel was back when I was just doing music and I was in like the industry about to get signed and stuff like that. So I started a secondary channel just to do like personality based stuff and sketch comedy and all that. And so that was the start of the two channels, and they've kind of always existed separately. Yeah.
Well, you guys follow
But you
him
can
in
see
all the
one
places.
from the other. Like there's
Absolutely.
like
They're
you can
connected.
see they're all
They're
connected.
linked,
Yeah.
Love a
Okay,
good
great.
linking.
Yeah.
We love a good linking.
We'll
and we
probably
also-
include the link to this song, you know.
And we also
in
love a
this
good breakup.
description.
Don't be a dick.
Don't. Because
Wrap it up
there's
the right
tomorrow's
way.
life.
Thanks
Wrap it up,
Thanks for
kids.
breaking down the breakup
Yeah.
with us, Josh.
Wrap it up, kids.
Yes. use
All
the
right.
condom.
And where can everyone find you, Jen, in this lovely song?
Well, I'm going to probably put the link in our description for this episode.
I can't.
For your listening pleasure.
Oh, my God.
You can also follow me at Jennifer Golden, unless I delete all of my accounts and hide for the rest of
What's
my
the
life.
embarrassment level right now?
A 10 out of 10.
No, I feel like
You
it's
hide it well.
Because I also gave tips as to where we could find it. Jeff's just like really good at finding things apparently.
Yeah, he is. And it's still playing, by the way,
the
everyone.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get a
You
record
can't
deal.
even hear us right now.
No, it's just
Did
Jen.
you see our
It's
lips
just her,
moving?
like, angelic, like, ah, playing over everything.
What was that? What was that?
I know, it was good. I matched your note.
You did.
I did. Maybe I didn't. But if you want to see me, I mean, I sing a mean birthday song to my friends on their
She does. It's
birthdays.
operatic.
So good. I have vocal gymnastics up the ass. It is.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
don't even
Up
fucking
the
know.
birthday ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
it's-
up there.
You're welcome. You can find me at Lauren Lee and Ellie on all the social medias, and maybe you'll get a birthday song that will rival this one because it is so good.
Let's get this viral, guys.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know I was the least musical person in the room.
Oh, snap.
Well, I can't rap. Does that make you feel better?
I
little
can in my
bit.
dreams.
A little bit.
You
Yeah.
definitely can in your dreams.
I can
With
in my dreams.
multi-syllabic rhymes and all.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And next week, tune in, please, for our guest, Emily Moore. She's the host of the wildly popular podcast, Sex with Emily. And we're going to talk about more dating and relationship tips and tricks and sex and all the stuff. And maybe
And
she'll have,
sex.
yeah, and
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
even breakup stuff, too, because also
Breakup
this is something
sex.
you need to know. Breakup
Oh,
sex.
That's
good
a real thing. I know
call.
people do that. And we have a guest host because I'm not going to be here, and it's Jacqueline Marfuji, who's been
Yes.
our guest before.
She's our little Italian
Then why
meatball.
even watch?
I know. Why even watch it? Especially since
support
this
them,
song
guys.
isn't going to play.
Plus, it's going to be about sex, and who wants to miss that?
I mean, with Sex with Emily and all of the two Italian girls. So here we go. All right, Josh, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank you for
Thanks
having me
breaking,
and for the natural.
breaking up the breaking down the breakup. I'm gonna get it right
So
one
that
day.
we can all break
Yeah,
even.
that's right. Oh, and with that, love you long time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.